My name is Chris Burkhardt, and I'm here at the Stocked Product Culture Conference with Gear Patrol. And I wanted to give you guys a little insight into what my basically essentials are when I'm out on the road photographing really anything from landscapes to epic action. For me, it really comes down to the camera, first and foremost. That's the powerhouse, right? And I've been able to test and use the brand new Sony mirrorless A7R4 body. It's like 60 megapixels, just this powerful little system. And for me, that's been like my go-to for commercial photography, for any kind of action sports with 10 frames a second burst. The thing's awesome. And then with that, I have two lenses that always go with me, 16 to 35 2.8. I love the wide perspective. I feel like naturally I kind of gravitate towards these more landscape perspectives, and then the 24 to 70 being kind of like my mid-range zoom lens. Depending on what else I'm shooting, whether it's something that requires me to shoot wildlife or something far away, I'll bring a 100 to 400 or a 70 to 200. But I feel like with those two basic lenses, I can get away with almost anything. For me, a polarizer, like Polar Pro, those are like one of the most important things. Being able to cut the reflection out of water, being able to cut, maybe heighten the contrast of your clouds. For me, that's like one of the best, pre-editing tools you can add to your camera to just enhance what you're looking at. For a tripod, I was lucky enough to work hand in hand with Peak Design to create a brand new tripod that actually utilizes triangular legs. This allows a tripod to be like really svelte and lightweight. The whole thing just kind of is like a brick, right? It almost fits like, it's like smaller than a Nalgene bottle. So that's kind of my go-to right now. I've been actually beta testing that and using it all over the world. Things bulletproof as well. For drones, typically, I love carrying something that's small and light. I've been really using the Mavic, the DJI Mavic Zoom. That one, just because I think what ended up happening is the perspective of drones was so interesting right in the beginning, but then it kind of just became commonplace. And so the ability to work with a drone that actually can zoom in and out and shoot more of a natural perspective is way more powerful, So I do use drones whenever I can, but personally I would always prefer to shoot in a plane because the visceral experience of being there is nothing's ever gonna make up for that. One of the big pieces too is camera bag, right? I feel like every job requires a different bag. I was able to design with Mountain Smith a backpack that's kind of built around a climbing style bag. It's a haul bag, everything just can get shoved in there. Most of the assignments I go on, they take me somewhere where I need to throw potentially camping gear or extra clothes or something else in the bag. So these backpacks that are just dedicated to like only your camera, they never really do it for me. Beyond that, one of the things that I always bring with me is not just a tiny lens cloth, but something big. I go to REI or somewhere like that, and I just usually cut up a big like chamois, like a towel, and I use that towel as sort of my lens cloth. If it gets wet, something like that, that's a go-to. A Beastie bag. These are, you can find them on Amazon or whatever. It's a bag that has a bunch of silica sand, and it pulls the water out of your camera or your phone if you drop it in the water. I've literally had it save my camera from falling into a lake. That thing is absolutely a go-to piece of equipment. Other than that, shoot, I think a headlamp and noise-canceling headphones. Those are two things that I'm always carrying with me as well. I think the biggest thing and takeaway is just get out there early, give respect to the places that you're shooting by scouting them out, by spending the time, and trying to really find a perspective that you feel like is unique and that helps tell a really good story.